Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to D&Z TV, the place where we have legit information that is designed to make your day going and do everything in our powers to make sure that you get the latest gist happening in the Oni of Ife's palace. Okay, right about now, the Oni's family have actually opted for co-parenting between the Oni and Naomi in the raising of Tade, who happens to be the Oni's son. Now, somebody will want to ask, what is co-parenting? Co-parenting is a post-divorce parenting arrangement in which both parents continue to jointly participate in their children's upbringing and activities. This involves a substantial amount of interaction between the parents, both in public and in private. Now, if you want to look at it very well, the Oni of Ife and Naomi have had this battle going on for the past 3 years now, since when Naomi left the palace to go and stay on her own. Right now, the people are now opting that they should go ahead and have co-parenting when the Oni can see Naomi when he wants, when Oni can see the son when he wants, and Naomi too can also have access to the boy when he wants. Because, as a matter of fact, if they now decide to go to court, there are tendencies that the child might be cut away from one of the parents. So the family of the Oni are opting for co-parenting, which is actually going to help and make the boy to have a fulfilled life. Now, there are actually three different types of co-parenting. We have the parallel co-parenting. Parallel parenting is the most common form of co-parenting. Then we have the conflicted co-parenting. Conflicted co-parenting involves constant fighting, poor interactions, and lack of cooperation between former partners. And we also have the cooperative co-parenting. So this is actually the last resort that is going to help to make sure that Tade is being taken good care of, since Naomi is of the opinion that she does not want to come back to the palace, because a lot of persons have been asking her to come back to the palace. The Oni himself has asked her to come back to the palace, but she is the opinion that she does not want to come back to the palace. Now, somebody now said, what makes good co-parenting? What makes good co-parenting is peaceful, consistent, and purposeful communication with your ex is essential to the success of co-parenting. Even though it may seem absolutely impossible, it all begins with your mindset. Think about communication with your ex as having the highest purpose. In the issue of co-parenting, what is actually given priority is the well-being of the child. The child is always given a priority. Priority one goes to the child. It's actually because of children that we now begin to have issues of co-parenting. If not for issues of children, once there's a divorce case, everybody is supposed to go their way. But with children in the picture, it is always good to have co-parenting. Now, what is opposite of co-parenting? Counter-parenting is the opposite of co-parenting. Rather than settling aside differences to parent it effectively, one parent effectively works against the other. This is a parenting arrangement you should avoid. Counter-parents may think they are punishing the other parent, but ultimately they are hurting their own child. You see, co-parenting, now what it simply does is that it makes you to forget about your own differences and now know that there is a responsibility that must be met. That is how where co-parenting now becomes important. You forget about your own personal happiness and now know that there is an issue at hand, and the issue at hand is actually that of taking care of the child. Now, if you want to look at what are the problems of co-parenting, common communication challenges of co-parents may include emotional barriers to communication, such as feelings of anger, animosity, resentment, or dislike, regularly disagreeing with other parents' methods of parenting or family choices. You see, why co-parenting is actually not good is that when in issues of co-parenting now, the man might want an A, the woman might want a B, or the woman might want to take the child to swimming pool and the parent might want to take the child to cinema. So they are always having they are always having these issues of disagreement concerning what happens to the child, where do they go to, and stuff like that. So co-parenting actually has its own challenges that are very, very pertinent to note, and that parents must actually try to understand. Does co-parenting affect children? Benefits for the child. Effective co-parenting helps lower children's stress and anxiety levels. It can also help reduce the conflicts between parents that negatively impact their children and provide stability for the child. You see, just as I said, now co-parenting, the main idea for co-parenting is that it helps the children. It tends to help the children to know that, okay, even if my parents are having issues, my parents are having misunderstanding, they have actually made up their minds to take care of me. They've actually made up their minds to grow me. They've actually made up their minds to make me become a better person. You know, when parents are now to make you a better person, you can now definitely have the best of two worlds, you know, both here and there. Does co-parenting always work? Unfortunately, in reality, co-parenting arrangements do not always work. There are always conflicts, there are always issues, there are always unresolved issues that are always very difficult to be fixed. Sometimes both parents play a role in this. They are simply too angry, or they have too many philosophical differences to co-parent. Sadly, there are also situations where one parent behaves in a manner that makes co-parenting very impossible. You see, the issue of co-parenting here, what I tell people is, if you have issues with your spouse, the best thing is to sort it out and move on with your life. Once you're always having trying to feel okay, it's just the child, the whole relationship is about just the child, you now find out that you're deceiving yourself, because no matter how you try to make it work, it's actually not going to work. You will still find yourself in issues and circumstances where you now find out that there are actually issues that needs to be settled. So my own take is that let parents always find a way to make their issues and relationships work instead of opting out for co-parenting. What is the healthiest way to co-parent? Now, here are 5 things to remember to help you successfully co-parent together. It is not about you, it is about your kids. You see, the kids are actually put into paramount picture. The kids are the people that you are going to be looking more out for, and not your own self. Then always treat other parents with respect. Now, once you've agreed that, okay, you're coming together because of your child, also know that the parents do also have feelings, and they also need to live on with their life. So don't say, okay, because we are co-parenting, you now allow everybody to go their ways the way they want to go. No, it's not supposed to be like that. So we should always try to respect the parents. Then keep lines of communication open with co-parents. You need to be very open to your spouse. If you want to go into co-parenting, don't try to say A and then you now want to do B. You now try the situation in circumstances where you now make one of the parents to feel that you are doing more of the work. No. That's why they call it co-parenting, meaning both of you are coming together to make this happen. So let the kids see their bio parents. The kids should always know that there are two parents who came together to give birth to them. But though they have unresolved differences, they should still understand that there is a life after all of this. And finally, keep it business-like. Now, if you must have agreed to go into co-parenting, you should not go there and now start having emotional feelings of some certain things. You know, that happens more with the ladies. Now, you've opted to go for co-parenting. Then once in a while now, when the father comes, you now begin to expect him to take you to your house and a couple of other things like that. It's not going to work. If you must go into co-parenting, you must make up your mind to make it you must make up your mind to keep it simple. Keep it simple, and you find out that everybody will be good and will be nice. All right, people. So the Ooni of Ife's brother has advised Ooni to adapt to co-parenting, as it's actually going to be a solution to the predicament and problems that the Ooni of Ife and Naomi are having in the palace. All right, beautiful people, it's been awesome having you here again. As I will always say, if there's just anything you want us to talk about on this channel, let us know and we will definitely talk about it. Okay, people, thank you and bye bye.